Hello, Augies Worldwide. I'm Dave Kassler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG, here with another episode of Ask Dave. I got a question, interesting question, from Bill Malman, AB4P. And he said, would you mind sharing some information about what you are using for lighting in your studio or shack, same thing, for video recording? I've tried several things and none that I like. Yours really does a good job. Many thanks for everything. Well, I think the first thing you want to look at when you're talking about lighting is standard. You can look this up actually on Wikipedia. It's called three-point lighting. That's your basic lighting. You've got one light coming straight at you. You've got a light coming from the side to fill in the shadows, and you have something behind you to give some definition to your hair and so on. I do it all different. I've got all kinds of lights in here. Now, normally I sit here and I face the teleprompter. That's this thing right here. And the camera is behind it, and if you put a piece of text here, this text, you'll note, looks really weird. That's because it's backwards. But if I put it here, this way, I can sit there and read that right in that reflection. And it looks just right, and right behind that is the camera, which you can't see because of the reflection. And so it looks as though I'm looking directly into the camera. This one is by NEEWAR. It's designed for an iPad. It's got a little remote control for it, and you can use this with any camera and your iPad or a tablet, whatever, and that's how I record. I sit right here and I face that. Now I have glasses, so if I have the light directly on me, like classical three-point lighting, then you're going to see it in my glasses if I wear glasses. And when I use the teleprompter, I like to have the glasses on so I can read that better. My main lights are that one and that one. Now, one of the things that's really important about lighting is that you try to make all of your lighting about the same color. Because if you have some soft white bulbs, which are fairly yellow, and you have daylight bulbs, which are quite bluish, really, you're going to have problems. Now, these daylight bulbs, like this one right here, I can touch it because it's LED, is a daylight bulb. This over here is something I picked up at Best Buy, and is made by Sunpack. It's a Sunpack VL LED 330, and you can get this at Best Buy or someplace like that. On-off switch. It's got brightness, and I've actually got the brightness turned way down. And then color. You can change the color from 3K up to about 6K. Now, daylight is actually considered to be about 5K, 5,000 Kelvin, because the surface of the sun is, the temperature is 5,000 Kelvin, and it incandesces at what we call white light, because that's the way we've evolved to look it up. Now, the sun puts out all kinds of other radiation, but we see visible light the way we see it. So this is a daylight. That can be adjusted. This is a daylight bulb. This one mostly goes down so that I can put the whiteboard right here. And then I put a camera up here, and it gets its light from these. And then this is from one side, this is from one side, and something directs back here too, so I get a fairly even amount of lighting on my face. This light, which is about a 3,000 Kelvin, it's also an LED, just provides a little extra light on the side. Of course, I do get some natural light from the windows, but I don't usually count on that. This right here is designed to light the background. It also is the light for my workbench. This is a shop light from Home Depot, Home Depot. It's 4000K. So it's neither sunlight nor indoor light. It's a shop light, but it's 4000K, and it illuminates the background here and gives a little bit of a hair light on the back. Then I've got my overhead lights. You notice I've got one daylight and two interior type lights up there, which makes the light a little bit cooler than it would normally. This light is not bright enough to affect much of what I do on shooting. Primarily it's these two lights for the face, and then this light for the backdrop right there. So that gives you an idea of the light. Something that's important to note is digital cameras, and I use a Panasonic, let's see, it's a G7 for this. They've got the G8s out now and so on. They've all gone beyond. There's a lot of evolution in digital stuff. But the thing that's important to note is that just because it's digital and just because it can work in low light doesn't mean that that's a good idea, because you can get noise in the picture. Colors actually change on you when you have low light like that. It's a little known fact that the way the eye reacts to light, as you dim the light, it tends to change color a little bit, even though you can use all your scientific measurements and find out that the color does not change. That's because the red and green cones in our eyes, the transfer curves for those actually overlap. So if you go down in value, you're starting to illuminate both of them, and then that's why the color changes. So even if you're using a digital like your iPhone or something like that, and a lot of people like the new iPhone cameras with their fancy camera stuff on the back. These take very good pictures, 4K even. The thing is that you want fairly bright light for your digital cameras. This is fairly bright light, as you can see, so I get a nice, sharp, crisp image with consistent color. Everything works a little bit better that way. These newer iPhones, you can actually photograph with them. There are quite a few things that will clamp onto them. You can put it on a tripod and do your stuff on that. But I use purpose-built equipment for capturing the data. So there you have it, a quick rundown of my rather messy shack here. And this is where we shoot almost all the videos unless we're outside. So we've got a new giveaway that we're starting out with, and that's for this item right up here. I've got on top of my old Hallicrafters radio, and this is a micro BITX QRP rig. It's from India. It covers all bands. They even include a microphone, and I will include a power cable for it. And so if you'd like to enter for that, send via snail mail a QSL card, a postcard, or a simple letter, one-page letter in an envelope. I need you to give me your name, call sign, address, shipping address, shipping address, and a phone number in case I have a problem reading something. So send that to Dave Kassler, KE0OG, giveaway number 3 at P.O. Box 98, Ridgeway, Colorado 81432. And also, please subscribe, please click like, and until we next meet, 73.